Hello guys, you are welcome to today's video. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you how to set up an LLC if you are a non-US citizen. Alright, so you can actually do it yourself. Alright, but the problem with that is that if you are trying to do it on your own, you are going to encounter a lot of challenges. Alright, because if you are not in US, there are some things that you cannot do physically. Alright, so what most people do is that they use a registered agent. Now, one of the best registered agents that people use is actually called Tailor Brands. All right, Tailor Brands is a well-known, registered agent for LLC. So I will leave the link down below in the video description so that you just follow along with me. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to enter your business name. All right, if you don't have any business name, just think of one and enter it. So I'm just using this as an example. And after that, you're going to click on Get Started. Now it says, what will Paul John offer? All right, physical goods. Are you into physical goods like material products like candles, clothing, or pet supplies, or services, a skill set or expertise? Maybe you are a coach, you are into real estate, photography, beauty, transportation, and construction, etc. Then you are into or maybe you are into leisure and hospitality, original content, self-made content like blogging, gaming, streaming, YouTube, or social media. All right, so we also have the technology and software. And then if none of this applies, then you can just enter it here. So you tell them exactly what you offer. I'm going to use this as an example, but I'll click on that and then I'll click on next. Okay, say enter your industry. By telling us more about what you do, we can create a better plan for you. All right, so let's assume you are a coach. All right, so I'm not going to be going into the details. So I just say we are a coaching business. You tell them whatever thing you do and then you describe it from what you saw in the example. Then after that, you're going to click on continue. All right, so what was your biggest motivation for starting your business? So you just choose whichever one, whatever thing that motivates you, doing what I love, being my own boss, making extra money. So for me, I'm going to choose being my own boss. So you click on next. What stage is Paul at? Just an idea, getting ready to launch, already in business. So just tell them if you are just getting started, then you can click that. If you're already in business, if it's just an idea, you can put that. So for me, let me just say getting ready to launch. All right, it depends. Okay, here, what would you like to focus on? You can choose more than one. Online business, logo and branding. So this is what we are going. We'll go with LLC formation, and then you click on that. Say, does Paul have any of the following? This will help us tailor your personal plan. All right. So if you have an EIN, I'm sure most people don't even have an EIN, trademark. If you have a trademark, you can click on that. Your domain name. If you already have a domain name for your website, and then you can just click on that. But if you don't, you can unclick. All right. Then we have the business email. Do you have a business email, like a professional business email, LLC? If you have any of these, then you can just, and if you have a business name, you can, I think we already mentioned a business name. I think we can enter a business name here. Mine, I choose mine. If you don't have a business name, you can just keep. But if you have it, of course, you should have a business name. All right, say take your first step towards your dream business to unlock the rest of your journey. So it's already clicked by default. Okay, say got a name for your business. Let's try it out. We are here to help bring your business vision to life. Try a name you love to start with, and then you put your business name there. Okay, so here for mine, I'm going to put Paul John, or you can put anything. You can even put something like, depending on what your business is all about. So here I'm putting Paul Digital. All right, so if you are not sure, you can always change it later. So that's no problem. And then here you're going to check this, click on the state. So the two states that are recommended are Delaware and Wyoming. So I'm just you can choose any one of them. Remember your business name. So if you have a name you are thinking of, you can just put it there, and then from there you click on continue. Okay, so what's Paul's digital industry. So you tell them their industry. So you can click here to search. So search for it here. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to put here business consulting as an example. All right, so it's the same thing here, consulting. So I'm going to click on next. Now, based on your answer, let us build your free tailored business plan. All right, LLCs succeed better with a plan. You will soon get an email from us with a few questions so we can create your plan. All right, so you say I want a business plan. It says it's free, so you're going to click on next, and then here you are going to fill out information. So you put your name here, your first name and last name, and your phone number. All right, so once you've added your phone number, then you click on next. All right, here say get a completed SS4 to apply for an EIN and open a US business bank account. All right, an EIN, employer identification number, is a 9-digit federal business tax issued by IRS. Is required for US business taxes. To get one, you need to file from SS4 with the IRS, and then we can help you do that. If you want to handle it yourself, you just click on that, but I will advise you to leave it at help me get my EIN. Then you click on next, and then here keep my LLC compliant. All right, so just leave it the way it is. If you want to handle the experience yourself, but I recommend keep my LLC compliant. All right, and then you click on next. Okay, for this, say elevate your business image with your branded toolkit. Get a domain, create logos, a website, and an online store, and a range of other essential tools like all-in-one to set up your business online and reach customers. So you are going to look professional. So just leave it at get a toolkit. All right, because you want to look professional. But if you don't want to, then you can click on this, but I recommend leaving there. Then you click on next. So skip the line and form a Delaware LLC even faster. All right, so get up and running 14 times faster with our filing service that allows your documents to reach the Secretary of State's office within 1 business day in most cases. All right, so just leave it at get expedited process in 1 day. All right, so then you click on next. Establish your LLC rules with an operating agreement. So you will need this, so just leave it at get my operating agreement. So if you can figure it out, you click on that, but I will advise you to leave it because these guys, they are going to help you do everything. Easily operate in the US by opening a business bank account. So the fee is free business debit card, no minimum account needed. All right, so that's just it. So you just click on next. So these are the things you will need to form an LLC in Delaware. All right, so these are the things you will need, and everything is going to be about 240 USD.